I don't know about you, but I can find plenty of things to worry about these days, especially if you go on social media. I am not on social media much because I'm kind of hardwired to have a little more anxiety to begin with, and social media just skyrockets that for me. It's actually the recommendation of mental health professionals to limit your social media intake to like 30 minutes a day. I don't know for you whether that would be absolutely impossible or doubling the current amount of time you spend on it, but do with that what you will. I just know that there's a lot of things out there, a lot of people out there who want to get us anxious and worried and worked up. And I'm not saying that there's not plenty of valid stuff to be worried about. Of course, there sure is. But something I am interested in is how leaders handle these anxious times. And we see different responses. Some leaders tend to dismiss the anxiety or the concern. Don't worry, it's not really that bad. It'll be okay. Other leaders capitalize on the concern, the fear, and they say, this is absolutely what you should be terrified about, and I have the only solution. So vote for me, or buy my product, or get on, this page, and it'll all be okay. How does Jesus handle that, though? I mean, from our perspective, as people who are trying to live lives of faith, we look to Jesus. And we see in Matthew chapter 10, Jesus has called his 12 disciples. He has instructed them to go out and spread the good news. And then he offers them, kind of a word of caution. This is what he tells them, beginning in verse 24. Disciples aren't greater than their teacher, and slaves aren't greater than their master. It's enough for disciples to be like their teacher, and slaves like their master. If they have called the head of the household Beelzebul, it's certain that they will call the members of his household by even worse names. Therefore, don't be afraid of those people, because nothing is hidden that won't be revealed, and nothing secret that won't be brought out into the open. What I say to you in the darkness, tell in the light, and what you hear whispered, announce from the rooftops. Don't be afraid of those who kill the body but can't kill the soul. Instead, be afraid of the one who can destroy both body and soul in hell. Aren't 2 sparrows sold for a small coin? But not one of them will fall to the ground without your Father knowing about it already. Even the hairs of your head are all counted. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. Therefore, everyone who acknowledges me before people, I will also acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But everyone who denies me before people, I will also deny before my Father who is in heaven. Don't think that I've come to bring peace to the earth. I haven't come to bring peace, but a sword. I've come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. People's enemies are members of their own households. Those who love father or mother more than me aren't worthy of me. Those who love son or daughter more than me aren't worthy of me. Those who don't pick up their cross and follow me aren't worthy of me. Those who find their lives will lose them. And those who lose their lives because of me will find them. Let us hear what the Spirit is speaking to God's people. Thanks, Jesus. Just being completely frank, that was really not very comforting. I can't imagine being tasked with this great job of spreading the good news. Go do as I do, as you have seen me. Oh yeah. And they will probably call you worse names than they've called me. And things will get ugly. But don't be afraid. Things, well, this is not an easy road. But ultimately, I've been there. I will be with you. I kind of wish Jesus, in other places he says, peace be with you. My peace I give to you. Why here he says, no, not peace, but a sword. This is a hard word. This is not a nice, it's not a great sales pitch. But I think what Jesus is saying here is we have to look at what kind of peace we're looking for. I think perhaps when he says, I don't come to bring peace but a sword, and he talks about the divisions that will happen. These are not, this is why I've come to create division. These are the inevitable consequences of. Like, this is just the reality. This is what you will likely encounter. You will likely have people call you bad names and accuse you of things. You will even have people within your own family who don't understand, who disagree, who want to go a different way. I think this is Jesus being truthful and honest. And yeah, sometimes I wish he would just say, it's okay, it's gonna be all right. Peace. But he knows that you can't jump to that too quickly. You can't just say, it's okay, it's gonna all be all right in the end. When people have tough stuff that they've got to go through, when there are legitimate things to worry about and work to be done, that's not the time for, oh, but it's okay, don't worry. He says, don't be afraid. Because I think what Jesus is saying is that it depends on what kind of peace you're looking for. Sometimes when things are anxious and not going well, we're just looking for the first anything that we can grab a hold of. You know, the first, oh, don't worry, it's going to be okay. I've got this. This is how you handle it. The first easy answer or quick fix, right? Sometimes we get desperate and we just want the escape right now. And I think what Jesus is saying here is, this is not a quick fix kind of thing. The world that you encounter when you go out to do the work of Jesus is going to resist you. The world is going to push back. There will be obstacles. There will be times that you feel unprepared. There will be situations that you didn't anticipate and don't want to be in. And Jesus says, know that these are coming. And don't just reach out for the first easy answer or quick fix. Because that's not the way that leads to true life. The easy button way, that cheap stuff that some people are selling, that escape from reality, that's not peace. The peace that comes from following Christ is a result of hard work. It's not only hearing what we want to hear, but it's hearing what we need to hear, even when that's tough. And so Jesus says, in order to get there, the only way out is through. And you have to face the challenges. Call reality what it is. And know that I will be with you. In fact, he goes ahead of us. There's nothing that we encounter, no place we can go that he has not already been. No challenge we face that he has not already conquered. That doesn't mean we're not going to have to go through it. It means it's conquerable, right? I have been going to physical therapy for my back. I had been having some back pain, and I'm like, I really need to get this under control before I end up having to have surgery or something, right? It is not my favorite. Some days I leave there feeling worse. It's hard work to get muscles back into shape where they should be, to strengthen things that maybe I was fine with not using them, but there are consequences, right? I think of Jesus' way of peace as kind of the physical therapy way. Like, you have to work at it. It's probably going to make you a little sore sometimes, but it's going to be worth it. You are going to be stronger. That's the way of peace. That's the way to abundant life, to good news. It's not always the easy way, but it's the right way. Jesus has done it and will walk you through it. I know that that's not always a fun and easy answer. And I am not the easy answer, quick fix type of preacher. I try to be like Jesus, truthful, honest, transparent, and I try to just keep following, even when it's tough and I'm sore and I don't want to go, because I know it's right, it's good, it will be worth it. But peace, the peace that's worth having, is the peace that we have to do the work to get. That we have to follow Christ daily. That we have to not give up. That we have to get back up when we're down. You know, all of those cliches. And so that's what I invite you to consider this morning. That when things out there in your pocket, when the things come to you that say, you should worry, you should be anxious, and here, I've got all the answers, probably not. Probably not. I invite you to consider deeply that the right way, the way to peace, to Christ's peace, is sometimes a hard way. But it is the way. He has been there, and he will never leave you alone. Thank you for choosing to begin your week in worship with us. If you have felt a nudge this morning that you want to take the next step in your faith journey, if you want to visit with me about that and figure out what that might be, my contact information is on the bottom of that prayer request page. Feel free to call or text or email me, and I would love to help you discern where that next step is. If you would like to share a decision with me this morning that you're ready to make, that you would like to dedicate your life to Christ, or reaffirm your faith or join this faith community, then I would be honored to celebrate that with you. And I would invite you to come share that with me as we all stand and sing, lift our voices once again.
Jesus calls us o'er the tumult of our lives, wild restless sea. Day by day his sweet voice soundeth, saying, Christian, follow me. In our joys and in our sorrows, days of toil and hours of ease, still he calls in cares and pleasures, saying, Quit me more than thee. Jesus calls us by thy mercies, Savior, may we hear thy call. Give our hearts to thine obedience, serve and love thee best of all.
Thank you again for choosing to begin your week in worship with us. I pray that you have a wonderful week, that you go knowing that there's nowhere you will find yourself that Jesus has not already been. There is no obstacle you will face that Jesus has not already conquered. And he will walk with you through it all. Go in peace.